Let's talk about agroecology. I'm a researcher on agroecology and agroecological concepts, and apparently I'm really engaging different stakeholders within the agroecological field. So I've been able to equally learn one or two things about the concept of agroecology. So what is agroecology? Agroecology is a concept that requires or demands for sustainable agricultural practice. What do I mean by the saying sustainable? Sustainable is that we are able to produce food by minimizing the negative impact on the environment. So agroecology demands that our thirst or demand or wanting to feed should not be at the cost of ecosystems' health, or our demand for wanting to feed should not be the cost of biodiversity conservation, of course. It demands that while we seek to practice agricultural activities, we should be considerate of some factors, including ecosystem health, biodiversity conservation, and the well-being of the communities. So in our agricultural productivity, we should be able to consider a pathway to achieving food security, at the same time addressing climate change and foster social and environmental justice through agricultural systems. There are some key elements of agroecology, and they include, of course, practicing agriculture while promoting biodiversity through cultivation of diverse crops, using multiple, plant and animal species, and integration of trees and other vegetations. This would help mimic natural resource ecosystem and enhance resilience against pests, diseases, and changing environmental conditions. Also, it calls for ensuring soil health by emphasizing on maintaining healthy soils through practices like cover cropping, reducing tillage, and using organic matter. The importance of healthy soil is the nutrient cycling and water retention aspect in the ecosystem function. So agroecological principles harness ecosystem services such as pollution by beneficial insects and nutrients recycling by soil monoorganism, enhancing agricultural productivity through relying heavily on systemic inputs. So agroecology as a principle also demands for local empowerment. By local empowerment, I mean integrating traditional knowledge and practices of the indigenous communities about crop varieties, soil management, water conservation, and the importance of empowering the locals about sustainable agricultural practices while accommodating their cultures and cuisines and bringing them on board, is that they're able to adopt this practice and help in achieving sustainable agricultural practices. Also, agroecology promotes social equity through championing for well-being of farmers, workers, like consumers, and it often supports community-based and participatory approaches to decision-making and knowledge sharing. That is mostly engaging community members, what I am doing now, on their consumer rights and policy awareness. So there is also the aspect of reducing chemical inputs in agricultural productivity. Agroecology emphasizes on organic farming, and organic farming prioritizes natural methods of pest control and disease management, thereby reducing synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. So there is also a principle of agroforestry, whereby this is integrating trees and crops in the system. And back then we were taught that this integration, or the concept of agroforestry, while trees provide shades, they support biodiversity and contributes to soil fertility in many ways, and also the water management aspect, whereby this emphasizes on water conservation through techniques like water harvesting, rainwater harvesting, mulching, and irrigation, efficient irrigation. So in short, agroecology challenges the conventional monoculture-based input-intensive model of agriculture, focusing on holistic and sustainable approaches that align with natural processes. As I said, agriculture should not be the cost of our ecosystem health. Agriculture should not be the cost of biodiversity conservation. Agriculture should not be the cost of our own well-being and the well-being of the communities and environment around us. I hope now you understand better what agroecology is, and do one or two things. Make sure somebody also gets to learn about this concept and practice.